Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to continue to talk about Till There Was You. That's right, Till There Was You, that rom-com, that very charming rom-com that I love so much from 1997. Till There Was You. It stars Dylan McDermott and Jean Triplehorn. Those are the two leads in this movie. Dylan McDermott has had a semi-successful career since then, although I do know he plays a lot in child support and alimony, so he's got to work. Jean Triplehorn, not so much. I think she doesn't really act that much anymore. I think she's probably on a couple of TV shows, whatever. But she has aged out, as they say. But I remember back in the 90s, I was around back then, I'm older, and I remember when this movie came out. It's one of my favorite movies, and that's one of the reasons why I created this category called Chick-Flick Praise. Okay, and the reason for that is because I've seen a lot of movies. Most chick flicks I've seen suck. I really don't like chick flicks, to be honest with you. I like action movies, history movies, true crime. That kind of stuff is what I really get off on, okay? But I have seen some chick flicks, but you know what? Everybody talks about that, okay? The superhero movies, I mean, you can find, 60,000 YouTubers that'll tell you about the latest Ant-Man movie, okay? Or they'll tell you about the latest whatever's popular right now, whatever the gossip is going on, like Eliza Blue or James O'Keefe, or whatever's going on right now. You're gonna hear dozens of people, hundreds, thousands of people talking about that. I'm gonna talk about the other shit, okay? The stuff that most people don't talk about. Now, there are guys out there that review movies, okay, chick flicks out there, okay, but there's a difference between me and them, okay, and that is I'm not gay. All right, I'm not gay. All right, I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay, I've already reviewed Sex in the City, every single episode of Sex City, and I'm going to review the new piece of shit and Just Like Crap once that comes out this summer. So I got that to look forward to. Okay, that piece of shit. All right, but I've already reviewed every episode of Sex in the City. I reviewed the movies, all that shit. It's all on here. Just look it up. You'll see it on there. Okay. And I decided that once I was done with that, I decided that I was going to go after your chick flicks. Okay. And tell you the truth. Okay. Now, I've already reviewed a lot of chick flicks already. I reviewed The Notebook. I reviewed Breakfast at Tiffany's, Pretty Woman, Romeo and Juliet, League of Their Own, Thelma and Louise. Okay, I've gone after a lot of your movies already. Okay, now I decided I'm still going to do that, but I decided let me at least give you a review of a chick flick that I liked, that I actually liked. Me, heterosexual male. Okay, that I actually liked. I actually enjoyed this fucking movie. I did. And I did enjoy this movie. Like I said, I saw it when it first came out. I was a young man in the Marine Corps. I saw it on the base theater for free. I watched a lot of movies for free back then because I was broke. I was a private. I had no fucking money, no car. So I went to the free base theater when I was in garrison. That's when I was on base, I had the weekends off. I'd go there to watch movies. Fuck it, What else was I going to do? all the other guys were out there drinking and shit, and going out to clubs. I was like, oh, fuck it, I ain't got the money for that. I'm broke. So that's what I did. And this is one of the movies that I watched, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. When it came out on DVD, I bought it, and then I started showing it to people, the girls that I dated. I would watch this movie. I show this to them because it was so charming and romantic. And I liked it. I liked the humor. I liked the whole style of it. This was Sarah Jessica Parker right before Sex in the City. Okay, so she's in this movie. I like the whole premise. The early '70s. They got the whole Brady Bunch Partridge Family ripoff show, and what happened to those people when they get older. How these two couples, these two people, Nick and Gwen, how their lives parallel each other, but they know all the same people. They've been to the same places. They almost meet each other several times, but they don't actually meet each other until the end. But by the end of the movie, you realize that these two are like meant for each other. They just don't meet each other. And I thought that was kind of very, very touching, very charming. Okay, very Sleepless in Seattle. Like that one, they didn't meet each other until the end too. So this movie deals with longing. Okay, it deals with trying to find that right person, and then we, the audience, know something that the characters don't know. Is that right person is right over there, right next to you, or right above you, or is friends with this person you're talking to right now, that kind of thing, So we're let in on information that the two main characters do not know, okay? Even their families are related somehow, because of the fucking piano. So all that shit's like connected, okay? We know the connection, but the characters don't. So we're always hoping that they're going to make that connection, and of course they finally do, but that's at the end of the movie. Okay, so they're not actually together until the end of the movie. So I thought that was kind of charming. It was a very nuanced concept back then. So I thought that was very good. I like that. I enjoyed that a lot. All right. Having said all that, this movie still holds a very special place in my heart. I love this movie. Like I said, that's never going to change. But now that I'm older, I'm wiser. I've dated a lot more girls. And I'm more experienced. That kind of thing. Now, when I watch this movie to review it for you, it's a piece of shit. It really is. Only a young man who was horny and lonely in the Marine Corps and broke would fall in love with this movie. Okay. Back then, I did not keep track of the of the cinema score back then. I did not keep track of the budgets. I did not keep track of audience reception. I liked the movie or I didn't like the movie, and I liked the movie. That's all I care about. Later on, now I look at stuff like that and I realize, oh my god, this movie bombed. Nobody liked this movie. Even women did not turn out to go see this movie. Okay, this movie failed on a lot of levels. Many levels. And now that I've seen a lot of movies, more movies, and I'm more educated, more. I catch more things. Okay, I learn from my mistakes. Now I can see that. Okay, this movie has a lot of failings. It really does. Okay, so I can't. That's why I put a question mark at the end of Chick-Flick Praise, because if you had asked me 2 weeks ago to review this movie and I didn't see it again, I'd say, oh my god, it was great. I love that whole ambiguity. I love the whole they knew each other, but they didn't meet each other yet. And blah blah blah. They all said the same things, and the serendipity was there. I would have told you all that. But now that I've watched the movie, I got to be honest. Okay, that's what I do here. I don't lie here. I got nothing to gain by lying to you. The movie fails on many levels. Okay, and so this is not going to be so much of a praise, although I will point out the really good stuff that I see that I still like in this movie. But I'm also going to point out the bullshit. Okay, I'm going to point out the failings, the unbelievability, the hyperbolicness. Okay, it's just not. It's not realistic, okay? It's just not realistic, okay? And that is the reason I got into Chick-Flick reviews anyway, because a lot of you women out there seem to think this shit's gonna fucking happen to you. It's not. It's not, okay? I'm sorry, I'm gonna burst your bubble. But a good thing is I'm not just gonna rag on the movie. I'm also gonna tell you what a straight guy would do in these situations, what he would be thinking, and what's more realistic, okay? That's what I do here. I'm gonna tell you what your boyfriend didn't tell you, your husband didn't tell you, and your dad didn't tell you. I'm gonna fucking tell you that, okay? I got nothing to gain by lying to you. Okay, the real question you need to ask yourself is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? Because that's what I'm gonna give it to you straight up, baby, with no lube. No lube. All right, now where I left off last time, we got Nick Dawkins. Okay, he's the main character, played by Dylan McDermott. Okay, he's in love. He's had a childhood crush. His favorite TV show was One Big Happy Family, which is basically a parody or a spoof of fucking The Partridge Family / Brady Bunch. Basically, he was in love with Jan Brady. Growing up, he watched that show. Okay, the middle girl, okay, who's fucking friends with the fucking dog, Stinky. Her catchphrase is right, Stinky. Okay, he was in love with her growing up. He watched her on TV all the time. So did Gwen, the female protagonist in this movie, played by Jean Tripone. They both watched that show. But Nick was in love with Taffy. That was her character, Francesca Linfield. Okay, she played Taffy. Okay, well, as they got older and shit, the show got canceled, and she became this fucking drug addicted fucking whore in and out of rehab. Basically, Lindsay Lohan. Basically is what she turned into, or even more realistic, Anissa Jones. Now, if you don't know who Anissa Jones is, she was a little girl on a TV show that came out back then called Family Affair. Okay, Family Affair. Okay, and when that show got canceled, she started in a couple of stuff, but then as a teenager, she just got into the drugs, into the whoring, and she fucking died of an overdose. As a young lady, I think she was 18 when she died, okay? Yeah, really sad, really sad. And this happens to a lot of child stars, okay? Really sad. Well, basically, that's what Sarah Jessica Parker's character is in this, okay? She's Francesca Linfield, only she didn't die. Okay, although everyone thinks that she's dead. Because whenever they bring up her name, they go, oh, she was that girl. She was Taffy on One Big Happy Family. Everybody, whenever someone says that, the other character says, oh, isn't she dead? Like, everybody says that in this fucking movie, all right? It's like a running joke throughout the movie, all right? Well, she's not dead. She just got out of rehab, and she decided that she's going to write an autobiography about her life, which means she's going to pay someone to ghostwrite it for her. So the woman that gets hired to do this is Gwen Moss. She's a female protagonist, okay? And she grew up believing in romance. She's in love with how her mom and dad met each other, which is a bullshit thing. They met each other at a fucking Kennedy rape party out in the fucking out in fucking Martha's Vineyard. But oh well, okay, the kind where women end up drowned in the fucking Chappaquiddick River, if you know what I mean. That kind of party, okay? That the Kennedys were known for. All right, anyway, they meet at a party like that, and apparently they fell in love and shit. And little girl Gwen loves hearing that story. She always talks about it as she gets older. And as an adult, she tries to find true love. She does it by fucking a lot of nerds and fucking and boning on top of the fucking family piano that came from Lithuania. And she also does it by fucking her professor, her grad school professor, her poetry professor in grad school. But then he finds out that he's gay. or likes guys because he's boning one of the male students in her class, which breaks her heart. So she reads off this poem about her heart being broken and shit, and then she drops out of grad school and decides to become a ghostwriter, and that's why she's in LA right now. She gets hired by this fucking nerdy guy named Bob. Okay, I guess he's an agent of Francesca Landfield's, and his job is to fucking to find someone to write Francesca's autobiography. Okay, so she gets hired to do it. Now, Gwen does not think much of her work. She thinks that she's a mediocre writer at best. She doesn't even want her name on anything that she writes. She just ghostwrites for people. Okay, bullshit books like fucking how to lose weight, like diet books, like eat less, move around more, shit like that. She writes it. She doesn't like take credit because she doesn't think highly of herself as a writer. She gets hired to do this work, even though she has no qualifications really to write about Francesca Linfield. Although she is shocked that Francesca's still alive. I thought she was dead. Everybody gets that. Now this guy here, this agent, I don't know if he's an agent or Francesca's attorney or his businessman or her businessman. I don't know what he is. Okay, but anyway, he's this beta male guy named Bob, and he's fucking just a pussy basically. Okay, he cries about her. Apparently she fucked him. Then she started fucking other guys. He's heartbroken about it. He's just, we were involved. All over. I have moved on. I have moved. Just like that. A fucking pussy. All right, that's what he is. Anyway. So of course he's in love with, he has the attraction for Gwen, and Gwen cannot deal with being someone like this because she's a fucking klutz. They're basically trying to make Gwen to be this fucking Carol Burnett type. Clumsy girl, just bumping into things, always hitting herself over the head, tripping over shit, bumping into people by accident, this klutz. Okay, but she's not. I mean, she was a model. I mean, Jean Trill, look at the shit she did like in the mid-90s. Woman is fucking gorgeous, okay? She's fucking gorgeous. Okay, she does not come across as a fucking klutzy fuddy-duddy. Okay, there's other women that can pull that off. Anna Faris, Lucille Ball was the queen of that shit. Okay, they can do that shit. Okay, Jean Triplehorn cannot. She does not have the talent for that. Okay, she was already in an erotic thriller. She was already in Basic Instinct in '92. Okay, her character got killed off in that. She was this bisexual girl who was in love with Michael Douglas, go figure. Okay, and then she was on the Ben Stiller show because Ben Stiller was fucking her at the time, so he put her in a lot of episodes because she was a model. Even though she went to school at Juilliard, how the fuck did she end up modeling? Anyway, so yeah, that was the girl that he was boning at the time. He was also boning Janine Garofalo, his other co-star on that show. That was back in 1992, the Ben Stiller show. That was with Andy Dick, yeah, the guy that got Me Too'd a few years ago, yeah. And Bob Odenkirk was also on that show. That's right, Better Call Saul. Yeah, Breaking Bad, Bob Odenkirk, yeah, he was on there too. Okay, so I watched that show, and I only lasted I think 2 seasons, then it got canceled. But it was a great show. I loved it. Anyway, she showed up. She was not a regular cast member, but he was fucking her at the time, so he put her in a lot of the skits that he did. Okay, Sarah Jessica Parker herself even appeared in a few episodes because Ben Stiller and Sarah Jessica Parker, they're also from the industry. Okay, they're from showbiz. Their family were involved in showbiz. They grew up on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, just like every episode of Sex and the City, just like Breakfast at Tiffany's. They're from that area. Okay, so they already knew each other. They went to the same fucking synagogue. Okay, they already knew each other growing up. Okay, fucking Ben Stiller's dad was George Stiller, and his mom was Ann Mira, famous stand-up comedians from the fucking 50s and 60s. And Sarah Jessica Parker grew up on Broadway. She's a child actress. She played Annie on Broadway in the fucking late 70s, early 80s. Okay, and then she was a child actress after that. So so they grew up in the same industry in fucking Upper East Side, just like Mia Farrow, just like Woody Allen, just like Barbra Streisand. All these fucking famous people, New Yorkers, Liz Taylor, all this shit. They're all from there. Okay, so anyway, so that's going on, and so Gwen is the ghostwriter for Francesca. Francesca cancels her meeting in the office because she has to go to this architecture firm. She owns a property that her manager got for her when she was fucking blowing through her fortune on crystal meth. Her manager decided to fucking invest her money onto this condo called La Fortuna in LA, okay? And she couldn't touch it until she was an adult. Luckily for her, that saved her from going bankrupt. So when she finally got out of rehab, that's basically the only asset that she owns right now is that. Okay, that and her fucking autobiography. So the architecture firm wants to buy it from her so they can so they can design some new condos and put it there instead. She doesn't want to sell because she likes fucking torturing them. But luckily, Dylan McDermott's character, Nick Dawkins, the main character in this movie, because he's in love with her, he acts like he's never seen her before. Like he did not know that he never fucking jerked off to her growing up watching her show One Big Happy Family, like I did watching The Brady Bunch and to Eve Plum. Also known as Jan Brady, like I did. Okay, he acts like he's never seen her before, but he also seduces her into selling the fucking apartment the condo. And she says, "I'll sell it. I'll sell off Artuna, but only if I become a partner. I get say on how the new building's going to be, and that you hire this guy here, this hot fucking architect you have, because he designed fucking The Awful Truth, some hot trendy restaurant that she likes to go to. That you hire him to design the new apartment building. Okay, so that all works out, and then of course she wants to fuck him. So she decides not to go to this meeting that Bob set up for her at night at the restaurant, The Awful Truth, so she can meet her ghostwriter. Instead, she decides to go to Nick's place, his loft, okay, where all his shit is unpacked. He lives there, but he doesn't really live there as much as he dwells there. He's just got the basics around there. He's really got no furniture, no paintings, no nothing, okay? It's not lived in. He's just got shit lying everywhere, okay? Unpacked, okay? And she starts criticizing him, and because she's been in and out of rehab, she decides that she's gonna analyze Nick and find his defects of character and find his faults and point them out to him, because that's what all guys love to do when we're on a first date with a woman, is we like to hear her criticize us and tell us how fucked up we are. And that's what she does here, okay? She tells him that basically that he can't appreciate anything, and that he's the reason he's not unpacked in his loft, even though he's been there 2 years, is because if he were to unpack, he would have to admit to himself that he actually lives here, and he doesn't want to do that. This is just a layover for him. That's what he says. This is just a layover for me until I find what I really want, you know? And she's like, well, you don't know what you want. He's like, well, I know I want a piano. Okay, but he didn't buy one. Well, he wants a piano because his dad wanted a piano. One of the fights that his dad, when he was a kid, he watched his dad fight with his mom. His dad wanted to buy a piano and she couldn't afford it. She said, you're going to put us in the poorhouse. We can't afford a piano. So he remembers that. So he wants a piano because he knows how to play the piano. He loves the piano, but he doesn't actually own a piano. Okay, and she tells him, Francesca tells him, if I were to buy you a piano, you know, tomorrow, you wouldn't like it. You would hate it. And he says, you buy me a piano? He said, no, I'm telling you, I wouldn't buy you a piano. Because even if I were to buy you a piano, okay, you would not like it, okay? Because what you're in love with is not the piano. What you're in love with is the idea of having the perfect piano. And that's why you don't you live here, but you don't really live here, okay? It's because you want the idea of a perfect life instead of it in actuality, okay? She's like, I'm the same way. I just got a rehab, okay? Blah, 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 you know. The only thing I love more than anything is crystal meth. She tells him that. I was in crystal meth university, all right? So that's going on here, okay, which she loves more than life itself, crystal meth. So that's a red flag right there if I ever fucking heard one. If some bitch ever told me that, like I love crystal meth more than anything in the whole world, I'd be like, okay, you're going to be a one and done. Once we're done, I'm fucking losing your number, all right, and that's that. But of course, you know, can't have this. It's a rom-com. Can't have that here, okay. So anyway, Nick pretends, you know, he's like, you're very forward, you know, and she's like, oh, my tits develop on national TV. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, really? You don't know? He's like, no, what are you talking about? He's like, you never watched that show, One Big Happy Family? He's like, no, my parents, we weren't allowed to have TV when I was growing up. Bullshit. She's like, oh, I was taffy on that show. He's like, you were on a TV show when you were a kid? You know, he's all acting like he fucking didn't know that. That actually turns her on, which is kind of cool, you know. I've done that myself, okay, not in a situation like this. I ain't gonna say who it is, okay, but I remember one time I was at a wedding. I was at a wedding party, okay, and one of the guests, not one of the people getting married, but one of the guests at this wedding was a soap opera actress, okay? She was on a soap opera, okay? One of my female friends that was at this party recognized her from the soap opera and pointed her out. And once I saw her face, I remember like seeing her face on TV. Like I wouldn't watch a soap opera. I remember like, you know, every once in a while the TV would be on, there'd be a soap opera on during the day, you know, and every once in a while I'd look up and I'd see actors talking to each other in the melodramatic way. That's so, you know, no sound, like a typical soap opera. And I recognized her face. I was, oh my God, that's the girl that's on, what's that soap? General Hospital. Oh, General Hospital. She's on General, oops, I admitted it. She's on General Hospital, okay? And I went up there and I started flirting with her. And eventually she got around to telling me, oh, well, you know, I'm just here for the wedding. I got to go back to LA. Oh, so what do you do in LA? She's like, oh, come on, really? I was like, no, yeah, what do you do in LA? What are you, like a model or something, you know? She's like, I'm on a TV show. You know? What TV show? You know, like I just played it off. You know, of course I knew who the fuck she was. And that's my claim to fame right there. That was the only celebrity I ever had sex with. Yeah, I know, right? I have met celebrities. That's the only one I ever actually had sex with. I can't say her name because I don't want to get sued or anything like that. I don't know. But yeah, she was on a soap opera. Okay. And yeah, so I kind of play that off too, okay? And maybe I think subconsciously I was thinking about this movie when I did that, all right? But anyway, moving right along here, okay? So he acts like he's never heard of her before. He didn't know she was a child celebrity. That turns her on, that gets her all wet, okay? And she finds it exciting because now she thinks that she can be herself around him, okay? She don't have to fucking be this, Francisca Linfield. She can just be herself. She doesn't have to be Taffy. Okay, because let's face it. I mean, if I were to ever meet Eve Plum, if Eve Plum and I were like the same age, which we're not, she's a lot older than me. Okay, I watched the reruns growing up. Okay, a Brady Bunch. If I were to meet her, she was young, like my age, whatever, and I had the opportunity to seduce her or something, yeah, absolutely, I would definitely do it. But I wouldn't be having sex with Eve Plum. I'd be having sex with Jan Brady. Okay, it's a big fucking difference. All right, woo. Anyway, moving right along. So while that's going on here, okay, while Nick's pounding out fucking Taffy, he's pounding his Taffy. Gwen, meanwhile, is back at home and she's watching old romantic movies. I don't know which fucking one it is. It's some cheesy fucking rom-com movie from back in the fucking day, black and white, whatever. And she's there watching old rom-coms and fucking smoking cigarettes, and it turns out she gets a phone call from her dad. Her dad says, "Hey, I'm watching a movie today. I want you to come watch it with me. Come over here to the house and watch it with me." She's like, "Ah, Dad." He's like, "Come on, we never see you anymore." So she's like, "Okay, fine." So she hangs up the phone, okay, and then she gets up and she walks out of her apartment, which turns out to be a guest house. It's not an apartment. And then she crosses across the fucking swimming pool into the main house where her dad greets her. Yes, she lives at home. She's in her 30s and she lives at home. How fucked up is that? Okay, anyway. So she goes in there, and her dad sit down, and they start watching the same fucking black and white rom-com they were watching. Or maybe it's just a romantic movie, okay? Who gives a fuck, right? So she's there sitting with her dad, and she's all depressed. And while they're watching a love scene in the movie, she starts crying out loud, with her dad there, And she's like, "I can't take this anymore. I can't live like this anymore, Dad. I'm so lonely." Well, okay, right, bullshit flag right there, okay? Jean Triplehorn, yes, she's gained some weight in this movie. She has. She's a little more fuller. Her ass is a little bit bigger. She doesn't look like a runway model anymore, but she still looks fucking good. I do her. Look at that face. Oh my God. She's got a China doll face. Beautiful. Beautiful. You cannot make me believe that a girl like that would have a hard time finding a man. Now, she might have a hard time finding the kind of man that she wants, okay? But she can easily find a man. She doesn't have to be at home every night watching fucking TV by herself, okay? She don't have to do that, okay? There's plenty of guys that would go out with her. Absolutely. I would go out with her. Okay, no, but she doesn't want that. She wants some fucking super high value. Well, bitch, if you want a guy like that, if you want a fucking Brad Pitt or some CEO of a fucking company or some shit like that, then bitch, you are gonna have to compete against a bunch of women that are a lot hungrier than you are. Okay, you're not doing shit. What do you think? You think you're just sitting around eating your fucking Cheetos and watching old movies is gonna bring a guy to you? Are you out of your fucking mind? You gotta go out there. You gotta compete. You gotta compete. If that's what you want, if you want the high value man, you have to compete against the other high value women that also want him. But if you ain't gonna do that, let's start by losing some fucking weight. Let's get some tighter clothes. Hey, straight man's point of view, like I said, get some tighter clothes, and you gotta learn how to fucking flirt, okay? You gotta learn how to fucking flirt. Okay, that's the only way you're gonna do it. Sitting on your ass and crying to your dad is not gonna fucking fill you out. Okay? Come on, man. I mean, even vibrators, the batteries go dead. All right? Vibrator ain't gonna take you to go see this fucking movie, is it? Okay. We gotta do work. You expect a lot from us. We expect something from you too. That's called equality. Sorry, but it's true, man. It's true. If I was walking around with fucking 350 fucking pounds of fat, I can't unless I'm fucking super like Elon Musk rich. There's no women are gonna fucking flirt with me. If I'm gonna fucking try to get laid, I'm gonna have to fucking do something about how I look. Okay, it's just no way around it. Okay, guess what, women, you gotta do that too. Quit complaining. Now you can't find a guy. No, you can find a guy. You just can't find that guy that you want. That 0.0001%. Okay, that big from Sex and the City. Okay, you can't find that guy because all the women want that guy. You're gonna have to settle for something a little bit less. I'm sorry, okay, but it's true. It's true. You can still be happy. You can still find someone that gives a shit about you. Okay? Yeah, you got to put in some work. Holy shit. Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world, all right? And that's the only problem I really have with Gwen is that she wants this happiness, she wants this love, but she doesn't want to do anything to get it. Okay, so what the fuck? She just wants to cry. Cry about how lonely she is, how she can't find the right guy. I'm in my 30s already. Why am I so lonely? Well, so you don't fucking flirt, that's why. You know, if you don't actively try to get the guys that you want, you're gonna end up with getting nothing but fucking bobs. Guys like him, guys that are fucking crying in front of you. That's what you're gonna end up with, and that ain't what you want. You deserve better than that. Anyway, moving right along. So anyway, so she's crying in front of her dad. Okay, she said, why haven't I found someone like you and mom? And her dad is old man, old Jewish man, because they're a Jewish family. He says, Gwen, darling, because he's got that Jewish nasally voice, you know, he's like, Gwen, darling, I never loved your mother. Okay, bullshit. He didn't love his mother. He says, it's not real love, you know. I call bullshit on that. Now, Gwen's actually there, you know, you didn't love mom? They were married for 35 years and he didn't love her? Bullshit. No one stays married for 35 years if you don't love someone. Now, you might not be in love with them, okay? The flame might have fizzled out a long time ago, okay? But the fact that you're still together, living in the same house, still sleeping in the same fucking bed, okay? You're not beating the shit out of each other, okay? You're not over here having open affairs, okay? You're not out there doing all sorts of bullshit, okay? You wouldn't be together that long as he did. So I think he did love her. He just like, you know, the whole, the nuance, the whole thing about like, oh, here's a new girl that I'm fucking, I think that went away a long time ago. And that's what he wants. He wants to feel special. He wants to feel like, you know, he can get other girls. And instead, he's been with the same woman after all the, well, guess what, motherfucker? Everybody feels that way. Most people I know that have any fucking sort of long-term marriage feel that way, okay? But they stay together for other reasons, okay? Let's face it, we're all getting older, okay? And even after our fucking junk down there quits working, once we're that old, you know, we still got to have a reason to be together, you know? So what the fuck? You know, this guy's not young, he's old, all right? You know? There's nothing wrong with sharing your life with somebody else, okay? But that's somebody you're going to share your life. The longer you know them, the more imperfect they are. That's everybody. Now, if all you do is watch rom-coms and TV shows and other movies, all you're going to think is that, hey, you know what? If you're not fucking happy with the person you're with, get someone else. Absolutely. Okay, well, I know that's the American Western narrative. Okay, but those people end up alone. They end up with cats. Okay? You've got that certain time period where you can find somebody. Then after that, you're just losing your market value. That happens to everybody, men and women. Okay? So rather than fucking keep playing the field, okay, let's face it, there's a lot worse partners out there for you than there is good partners for you. If you want to keep on that fucking rat race, you're going to age out, you're going to end up alone. And even more unhappy. Okay, there's a lot of people that fucking, that had something good, they threw it away for something they thought was better, only to be fucking left alone. Okay, yeah, it sucks when people, when your lovers treat you the way you treated your former lover, right? Exactly. And I think that's what's going on here. Okay, he's basically like, yeah, I never loved your mother. Yeah, well, I think he's not in love with her, but I think he loves her, most definitely. Okay, so Gwen starts coughing. She does not handle this news well. Okay, he says that that she never found what Gwen was searching for. You know, I never found what you're looking for, Gwen. You know, and then he's more concerned with where fucking his wife, Gwen's mom, hid the fucking snacks that he likes. And of course, Gwen, no, I don't understand, Dad. You know, that kind of thing. He's more concerned with that. Like, the snack that he's eating is more important than revealing to his daughter that he never loved his mother. Yeah. Okay. And Dad's like, you know, I thought that maybe, you know, I'll wait it out. You know, well, she said, well, Gwen tells him, why'd you stay with her for 35 years if you didn't love her? He's like, well, you know, I thought I'd wait it out, you know, and maybe she'll die. She's like, you thought Mom was going to die? He's like, well, yeah, well, okay, no, not die, but yeah, I did. Yeah. You know what, sweetheart? I thought you would understand. Now, this is bullshit right here, okay? No father talks to his daughter this way, okay? Okay, no dad needs to tell their daughter their personal sexual hang-ups with their parents, okay? You don't do that shit. That's not very believable, okay? Now, what he's telling her, this makes no fucking sense. His daughter's upset. He should be comforting her, not making her feel worse. Okay, and that's what he's doing. She's bringing him her problems, and he's basically telling her his problems. Okay, like, fuck you, my problems are more important. You know, I don't even love your fucking mom, all right? So give her up this bullshit about romance. No, that's not what he should be telling her. He should be telling her what I just said. Fucking fix it. Get off your fucking fat ass. Put down those fucking Cheetos and get to the fucking treadmill. Okay? Number one. And quit fucking feeling sorry for yourself. Number two. Start talking to guys. Number three. That kind of shit. That's what you need to do. That's what I would have told her if that was my daughter. But no, he's like, I never love your mother. You know what? And she's not taking it well. He sees that she's not taking it well, and he still keeps fucking twisting the knife. Yeah, I never loved your mom. Yeah, I thought she would die. I hope she would die. All that kind of bullshit, man. And just like, and she's like, Gwen is like, oh, Dad, how can you die? Like I said, this is like sitcom area here. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's not funny at all. Gwen says, well, what about the story? Well, he's like, what story? That story that Mom always told me before I went to bed. Remember the night that you met? You met at that Martha's Vineyard log cabin, right next to Rape Lake, the Kennedy party. Mary Jane Kopechne was there, remember? And she never came back. I know that's not funny because that actually really happened. But anyway, she's like, what about this story? The night you met, you brought Mom the flowers, remember? And like I said, she, remember you picked her flowers? She said it just like that. You picked her flowers? Like, come on, this is what I talk about terrible acting. Jean Tripleman's a terrible actor. She went to Juilliard. How the fuck did she get in there? Okay, this is terrible acting. Maybe she's acted better in other stuff. But like I said, she had a very small role in the Ben Stiller show. I've seen her in this, which is terrible. Okay, I saw Waterworld, and that movie was horrible on all sorts of different fucking levels. Okay, and that's pretty much all I've seen her in. All right. Well, I think I saw her in Mickey Blue Eyes, but she had a small role in that. So that's it. How the fuck did she get into Juilliard? I don't fucking get it. But anyway, she's like, you picked her flowers just like that. And he says like, oh, picked the flowers. I don't know. Oh, that's right. Oh, no. That's not what happened, darling. That's not what happened, sweetheart. No. I was there. I met this girl, man, and she turned me on. Man, I was hot for her. What the fuck was her name? I don't remember her name. But anyway, I picked the flowers for her, and she stood me up. She never showed up. And then all of a sudden your mom was there, and I pretended that the flowers were for her, well, what was I going to do? Argue with her? I couldn't argue with her. You can't argue with her. You can't argue with your mother. What was that girl's name again? Damn it. And then he's like, oh, yeah, Josie. So, and Gwen's like, well, you're telling me that you only stay with Mom for 35 years just to avoid an argument? He's like, well, actually, yeah, I did. Yeah. It feels so much better now that I got that off my chest. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And her name? That girl's name was Josie. Oh, yeah. Her name was Josie. And then he walks away. Like, what the fuck kind of bullshit fucking dad is that? What really pisses me off is that Gwen's acting like she had no idea that her father was this way. Bull fucking shit. Like, that's your fucking dad. You're still fucking living with him, and you're in your fucking 30s, okay? So, of course, she should understand his personality by now. And the way that she's reacting means that she don't fucking know her dad at all. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit flag right there. That would never happen in real life, all right? So that's going on. Later on, Gwen is she's all emotional later on. She decides she's going to go look for an apartment. And the real estate lady that's showing her the apartment is, I don't know her name, but she's actually Nick's girlfriend. Okay, yes, Nick canceled. He was supposed to be at the Awful Truth, the restaurant that he designed. He was supposed to be there, okay, with his girlfriend, the British woman, the real estate woman, but he stood her up. He called her and made a bullshit excuse that his dad died in a plane crash. That's why he can't meet her for dinner. Okay, and when the fact is that he did that because he was going to fuck Francesca. That's why he did it, okay, to cheat on his girlfriend. All right, well, his girlfriend, I forgot her name, she's a British woman, she's showing Gwen this apartment. I guess she's a real estate agent. And Gwen just breaks down and starts crying. The agent thinks that it's because the closet space is too small. But she's like, no, my mom and dad are getting a divorce. Okay, well, first of all, middle-aged women do not break down and cry like this in front of fucking strangers. Okay, this is the kind of shit she should have been talking to her best friend Debbie, Jennifer Aniston's character. That's the kind of shit she needs to talk to her best friend about. Okay, not this fucking stranger that's showing her the fucking new apartment. Okay, what the fuck's she gonna tell her? I'm sorry, get the fuck out of here. If you feel that fucking bad, why the fuck are you looking at apartments? Okay, calm down, get the shit out, and then look for apartments. But what the fuck? I didn't write this fucking movie. All right, the woman that wrote this fucking movie wrote for 30 something, that TV show. Yeah. All right. So of course Fran starts smoking. Because, she's smoking, okay? Okay, so Gwen, she's all cluttered and emotional, blah, blah, blah. Also, Gwen meets Francesca. They finally meet each other at the office, okay? And Francesca, so the first thing Francesca does is she starts bragging to Gwen about how she had just had the best sex of her life last night. Okay, she was fucking Nick last night. She's bragging to Gwen about it, okay? Which makes Gwen feel like shit because last night she heard her dad tell her that she didn't love her mom, that he didn't love her mom, and she ended up fucking playing with the fucking vibrator because she ain't got no fucking guy to fuck her. All right? So that doesn't make her look very good, okay? Okay, now when Gwen's leaving the apartment complex, she's driving away. Meanwhile, the real estate agent, Nick's girlfriend, like I said, I don't know her name, she's on her cell phone talking to Nick, and Nick's basically breaking up with her while she's driving her convertible. You know, he wants to see other people. Well, that pisses her off that she swerves and almost hits Gwen, who's on the next lane. So Gwen has to make an emergency turn to avoid hitting the car, and she ends up coming to a stop and not fender bending, but and she hits the car in front of her. Okay, and the car was parked. Okay, it's a slight tap. It's no big deal. Okay, but she gets out of the car to apologize to the guy, you know. But he saw what happened. It wasn't her fault. It wasn't Gwen's fault. But they recognize each other. Okay, the guy whose car Gwen hit was Kevin. Kevin was the gay guy that was in the grad school with her, that was in the poetry class, that her boyfriend, Gregory, the professor, was boning, okay, behind her back. That was the gay guy that her boyfriend was also having sex with behind her back. The one she caught him with, okay. So that's how they recognize each other, okay. And there's the awkward, greetings, whatever, like that. You know, Kevin, remember me from class? And he was like, okay. And anyway, apparently he's there to move out some stuff. His boyfriend died, probably from AIDS, although it's not said in this movie. And he was moving his boyfriend's stuff out of the apartment. Okay. And he asked Gwen, hey, what else since you're here? You know, you want to make you feel better? You know, if you come help me move some dead guy stuff out of his apartment. And so she decides to help Kevin, and she goes into the apartment complex. It's a condo complex, actually, called La Fortuna. Yes, the very one, the main place in this movie. And she walks in there, and she looks around, okay, and she kind of like, you hear the piano music, and she kind of falls in love with the fucking community. It's all a bunch of young hipsters living there, and one old lady. Okay, it's a diversity fucking all the way. You got black people, you got women, Asian people, white people. You got the musician, the rock star that every fucking TV show had. Like all those young adult TV shows from the '90s. They all had one guy with the long hair and the guitar that was surgically attached to his chest. You know, yeah, he got one of those in there too. Okay, so that's going on. You got the eccentric old lady, you know, with the cats is there, and she kind of falls in. There's a big fountain in the center. Okay, and she falls in love with the place. Okay, that's called La Fortuna. So she's just like, you know, and then because you got the gay guy going upstairs, you know, because you got the gay guy there too. So basically, it's fucking Melrose Place, all right? All over again. All right. Okay, I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back shortly, and I'll continue my review of Till There Was You. I thank you very much for watching this long. I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.